When Starlight Glimmer starts becoming friends with a fellow formerly bad pony, Twilight tries to stop her. Well, considering that 90% of this show's previous antagonists aren't of the pony species, figuring out who fit this bill wasn't exactly rocket science.
Watch in awe as the great and powerful Trixie performs the most spectacular feats of magic ever witnessed by pony eyes!
Oh yeah! I'm Finn the Pony, and it's time for Finbits. If I could be honest here, part of me is baffled that this episode even exists. I mean, I knew we'd be seeing more Starlight Glimmer friendship lessons. I have a feeling they'll be like the Cutie Map episodes in Season 5. And of course I knew that Trixie would be making a comeback, everybody loves her. What confuses me is the conflict. Why is Twilight so unaccepting of Trixie? Did a certain sun pony forget what she learned in Griffin the Brush-Off? You know where you should just try to be a good friend and in due time the differences between a true friend and a false friend will make themselves known? Well, considering that people forget half of what they learned in school anyway, I guess it shouldn't surprise me. And even though we had to wait an extra week for this episode's release, I'm happy to say that the writers have put on a spectacular performance with this one. Let's check out the story. It's time once again for Twilight to instruct her pupil in the ways of friendship. And even though her methods last time gave less than stellar results, she's determined to try again by giving Starlight the homework of making a brand new friend and inviting them to dinner. The main six try to help her out, but after some failed attempts, she decides to take a break and let the spa ponies melt her stress away. And it is there that she meets her ideal companion, the great and powerful Trixie! Whom Twilight immediately disapproves of. Starlight tries to tell Twilight that if Celestia could trust her own student to make her own friends, then Twilight should do the same. But Twilight still tries to convince Starlight to possibly change her mind, which only draws the two of them farther apart. Meanwhile, Trixie decides to join forces with Starlight for a trick that would make her comeback show a true spectacle. But since the magic show is the same night as Twilight's dinner, Starlight has to make a choice, and in the end, she goes with the duty of magician's assistant. Twilight tries to intervene, which accidentally ends with Trixie revealing one of her motives for befriending Starlight, which is to prove her superiority. This causes Starlight to run away in tears, but after getting an apology from her teacher and being told that she's free to choose her own friends from now on, she performs the magic act with Trixie as planned and seals herself as the great and powerful pony's first true friend. I don't know if this was thought up on the spot or planned from the beginning, but the MLP staff deserve a cookie and a juice box because this is an ingenious setup. You've got two pre-established characters that are not native to Ponyville, both of which have been shunned by others due to past actions, forming a strong bond of friendship due to a common ground that only they share. Meanwhile, Twilight, who's had her problems with both of them, is stuck in the middle and has to do what she feels is right. So much potential for a fantastic episode, and luckily, they take full advantage of it. The story was perfectly paced, well driven, and very engaging. We see everything from Starlight's understandable issues with making friends, to Trixie's very subtle and well-woven introduction, to the very sweet and enjoyable bonding sessions between the two magical mares, to the final curtain call where everything comes full circle. We get to experience the emotions and dilemmas of all three main leads equally, and even get some snippets of character and backstory here and there. Throw in limited filler and well-timed humor, and you have a narrative that never misses a beat. And in some places, even has a beat.
You like music, right? DJ Pone 3'd be the perfect friend for tonight's incredibly important dinner with Celestia.
Nice job with inserting some fan favorites, by the way. Since this episode is a slice of life with very little happening, we can't expect too much from the animation department. But we do get our fair share of standout scenes, like the climax with the Moonshot Manticore mouth dive, which is a mighty massive mouthful, might I mention, and some nice little detailed touches here and there. It was nice to see that Bolt kept his job at the spa, plus I certainly cracked a smile when I saw the great and powerful silverware, so as a whole, nice looking episode with a good attention to detail. On the humor side of the spectrum, I'm happy to say that we've reached Castle Sweet Castle levels of laughs here. Every joke managed to hit bullseye in this one. The working title running gag? Excellent. Rainbow Dash barring the Pinkie Pride face for an episode? Hilarious. The bit where Big Mac gets articulate speech? Probably the most I've laughed this whole season. And of course there's the ending, where we find out that Cranky would actually make a pretty good MLP analyst.
How do you get your hair to do that all the time?
I know comedy isn't the most important part of an episode, but when it can make me laugh like this one can, that is some serious points in its favor. And finally, we have the highlight of this episode by far. The characters. The way the three main leads are written here makes this one of the most natural and believable slices of life I've seen in a while. Let's start with Trixie and Starlight. As seen in Season 5, Starlight has always been accustomed to using magic to fix her problems, and as a result, wasn't able to make friends normally like every other pony villain would, which makes the fact that she would hit it off with Trixie very believable. They both share a similar past and are able to sympathize with the flaws of one another, making for very understandable and adorable chemistry. Their moments together are the highlights of this episode, and it's easily the best portrayal of Trixie we've seen so far. Also, what's interesting about the characters in this plot is that there's no set antagonist. The actions of Twilight, Trixie, and Starlight all contain equal amounts of positive and negative traits. Trixie does genuinely want to form a bond with Starlight, but she can't help but have a bit of an ego stroke when she realizes that she finally beat Twilight at something. Twilight means well when she tries to change Starlight's mind, but she doesn't realize that she's trying to control a process that should happen naturally. Starlight wants to help her new friend, but needed to disobey her teacher in order to do so. This episode shows that no character is perfect, and in difficult situations like this, the real enemy is not one particular person, but the natural flaws that just come with being human. Their pony. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that this truly was a great and powerful episode. The story left me satisfied, the animation caught my eye, the comedy had me in stitches, and the characters were written to perfection. It was heartwarming, it was funny, it was deep, and at times, it was even dark. It's episodes like this which remind me of why slice of life is my favorite MLP genre, because we get to see the characters play off of each other, oftentimes to spectacular results. With 2 fantastic episodes in a row, I'm happy to say that Season 6 is officially in full swing, and I'm eager to see what tricks the writers have up their sleeves in the episodes to come. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my quick little playthrough of this episode, and feel free to tell me what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Did Trixie's comeback do as much for you as it did for me? Do you think we'll be seeing other antagonists make a much needed comeback? There's still that Changeling cameo in the season premiere, so you never know. Thanks for playing along with me. I'm Finn the Pony, and I'll see you all next time on Fitbits.